Did you know over 50,000 stores are closing this year? That's right, your favorite shopping spots are disappearing faster than a clearance sale. Stick around, because today we're revealing the 15 biggest chains that might not survive 2024. And trust me, some of the names on this list will shock you. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might be rethinking your next shopping trip. America's retail and restaurant landscape is changing fast, and not in a good way. Once thriving chains are now struggling to survive, with thousands of stores shutting their doors for good. From popular fast food joints to big-name retailers, companies that once seemed untouchable are now on the brink of collapse. The reasons? A perfect storm of rising costs, changing consumer habits, and fierce online competition. Some of these brands are cutting their losses and shutting down quietly, while others are filing for bankruptcy in broad daylight. And here's the kicker. Some of these closings are happening way sooner than you think. So, if you've ever walked up to a store only to find the doors locked and the lights off, you're not alone. Stick with me, because today we're counting down 15 of the biggest chains in America that are disappearing in the months ahead. Let's get started. 1. Quiksilver, Billabong, and Volcom. Remember when surf and skate brands were everywhere? Quiksilver, Billabong, and Volcom ruled malls in the early 2000s. If you wanted cool hoodies, board shorts, or skater shoes, these brands had you covered, but now they're sinking fast. The company behind them, Liberated Brands, has hit major trouble. They just filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and things aren't looking good. Over 124 stores are set to close, and nearly 1,400 employees are losing their jobs. So, what went wrong? Fast fashion took over. Brands like Shein and Zara offer trendy styles at lower prices. Kids and teens moved on, plus the pandemic crushed in-person shopping. Surf shops struggled to keep up. To make matters worse, supply chain issues and rising costs made it harder to stay profitable. Stores that once packed malls are now disappearing, so if you're a fan of these brands, now's the time to check out their sales. Because in a few months, your local Quiksilver or Billabong store might not be there anymore, and this is just the beginning. Up next, a massive fast food chain that's shutting down locations at an alarming rate. 2. Wendy's. Yes, Wendy's, one of the biggest fast food chains in America, is in trouble. You might think a brand this huge is safe, but hundreds of locations are already shutting down, and more could follow. So, what's happening? Rising costs and declining sales. Fast food isn't so cheap anymore. With higher wages, expensive ingredients, and skyrocketing rent, franchise owners are struggling to keep their doors open. Many can't afford to stay in business, but that's not all. McDonald's and Burger King are winning the battle. Wendy's has fewer locations and a smaller marketing budget. Their late-night menu and experiments like the surge pricing idea, raising prices during busy hours, backfired, turning customers away. In 2024 alone, dozens of Wendy's locations have already closed, and some franchisees have filed for bankruptcy. Experts predict even more shutdowns in the coming months. If you love their spicy nuggets or Frosties, enjoy them while you can, because soon you might be driving past an empty Wendy's building instead of your favorite drive-thru. And speaking of struggling chains, next up, a once iconic department store that's barely hanging on, Burbark's. Bargain hunt. If you love hunting for discounts on brand name products, you've probably stepped into a bargain hunt store. Known for selling overstock and liquidation goods, this chain became a go-to spot for budget-conscious shoppers. But now, it's struggling to survive. The biggest problem? Fewer people are shopping in-store. With the rise of Amazon, Walmart, and other discount retailers, customers can find deals online without ever leaving their homes. That's a huge blow to stores like Bargain Hunt, which rely on foot traffic. Another issue? Inconsistent inventory. Since Bargain Hunt sells excess stock from other retailers, its selection is always changing. That used to be exciting, but now shoppers prefer reliable pricing and availability. If they can't find what they need, they won't come back. As a result, multiple locations have quietly shut down, and financial experts warn that more closures are coming soon. So if you have a Bargain Hunt near you, it might be time for one last treasure hunt, because soon these stores could be gone for good. And if you think this is bad, wait until you hear about the next chain, which was once a department store giant. Family Dollar has been a lifeline for budget shoppers across America. It's where millions go for cheap groceries, household items, and everyday essentials. But despite its popularity, the company is shutting down hundreds of stores and fast. So, what's the problem? Too many stores, too little profit. Family Dollar and its parent company, Dollar Tree, expanded too quickly. Many locations are too close to each other, which means they're competing for the same customers. Instead of making more money, they're losing it. Then there's inflation and theft. Prices are going up, but customers at Family Dollar expect rock bottom prices. At the same time, stores are struggling with shoplifting, which eats into profits even more. On top of that, Family Dollar has had some serious scandals. In 2022, a rat-infested warehouse forced them to recall thousands of products. That hurt their reputation big time. Now, Family Dollar is in crisis mode. The company announced 1,000 store closures over the next few years, and more could follow. If your local Family Dollar is still open, don't take it for granted, because soon you might see an empty building instead of a discount store. Up next, a once iconic clothing brand that's fading fast. 5 car trouble? Advance Auto Parts has been the go-to spot for DIY mechanics and budget-conscious drivers for years, but now this major auto parts retailer is running out of gas. Fast! What's going wrong? Massive financial losses. In 2023, the company lost over $1 billion, and things aren't improving. Their stock crashed by more than 70%, and now they're being forced to shut down at least 300 stores in the coming months. Another issue? Fierce competition. Big-name rivals like AutoZone and O'Reilly Auto Parts are dominating the market. Even worse, Amazon and Walmart are stealing customers by selling auto parts cheaper and faster online. Then there's the mechanic problem. Fewer people are fixing their own cars these days. Newer vehicles are harder to repair, and many drivers just take their cars to professionals instead of buying parts. With stores closing and layoffs hitting hard, Advance Auto Parts is barely hanging on. If you've got one near you, don't be surprised if it shuts down soon. And speaking of struggling stores, next up, a once iconic shoe retailer that's losing ground fast. Six Best Buy was once the king of electronics. Need a new TV, laptop, or gaming console. This was the place to go. But now, it's struggling to survive. The biggest problem? Online shopping, Amazon, Walmart, and even direct brand websites like Apple and Samsung have made it too easy to buy electronics online. Why drive to Best Buy when you can get the same product delivered to your door, sometimes cheaper? Another issue? Fewer people are upgrading their tech as often. Phones, laptops, and TVs last longer than ever, so customers aren't rushing to buy new ones. That's bad news for a store that depends on big-ticket sales. To make things worse, Best Buy has been closing stores quietly. In the last few years, hundreds of locations have shut down, and even more are set to disappear soon. They're trying to focus on smaller stores and online sales, but will it be enough? If you have a Best Buy in your area, enjoy it while you can, because soon those blue and yellow signs might be gone for good. And next, a once popular restaurant chain that's struggling to keep its doors open, number 7 Walgreens, has been a trusted name in pharmacies for decades. It's where millions of Americans pick up prescriptions, grab last-minute groceries, or stock up on essentials. But now, the company is in big trouble. In 2024 alone, Walgreens announced it would shut down 150 stores across the U.S. And that's just the beginning. Experts predict hundreds more could close in the next year. Crime and theft. Many Walgreens locations, especially in big cities, have been hit hard by shoplifting. Some stores are losing so much money from stolen goods that it's no longer worth staying open. Then there's fewer customers, more people are getting prescriptions delivered to their homes or using online pharmacies like Amazon Pharmacy. This means fewer trips to Walgreens and fewer sales. On top of that, Walgreens expanded too fast. They opened thousands of locations, sometimes too close together. Instead of making more money, they ended up competing with themselves. Now they're being forced to shut down the weaker stores. To make matters worse, the company is also laying off employees and cutting store hours to save money. But will that be enough? Many experts believe Walgreens is heading for even bigger problems in the near future. If your local Walgreens is still open, don't be surprised if one day it's suddenly gone. And next, a beloved all-you-can-eat buffet chain that's fading fast. 8 Macy's has been a department store icon for over 160 years. From holiday parades to massive Black Friday sales, it's been a household name for generations. But now, Macy's is disappearing fast. In early 2024, the company announced it would close 150 stores over the next 3 years. Some locations have already shut down and more closures are coming soon. So, what's the problem? First, fewer people shop at malls. Online shopping and big box stores like Walmart and Target have taken over. Why go to Macy's when you can order the same brand cheaper and faster from Amazon? Second, prices are too high. Macy's still relies on expensive name brand clothing, but today's shoppers prefer fast fashion from Shein, Zara, and H&M. Many people just can't afford Macy's prices anymore. Another issue. Too many stores, not enough sales. The company expanded aggressively for years, but now those stores aren't making enough money. Instead of keeping struggling locations open, Macy's is shutting them down. To stay alive, Macy's is focusing more on online sales and smaller off-mall locations. But will it be enough? Many experts think this is just the beginning of Macy's downfall. So if you have a Macy's in your town, don't be surprised if one day it's gone for good. And next, a restaurant chain that's losing customers faster than ever. Ninth. Rite Aid has been a go-to pharmacy for millions of Americans. Whether you need a quick prescription refill, cold medicine, or just a snack on the go, Rite Aid has been there. But now, it's in serious trouble. In late 2023, Rite Aid filed for bankruptcy after years of financial struggles. The company announced plans to shut down 400 to 500 stores, and experts say even more closures could be coming. So, what went wrong? First, massive debt. Rite Aid has been losing money for years with rising costs, expensive leases, and tough competition from Walgreens, CVS, and Amazon Pharmacy. The company simply couldn't keep up. Another major issue? Lawsuits. Rite Aid has been caught up in the opioid crisis, facing lawsuits over how it handled prescription painkillers. These legal battles have cost the company millions and made recovery even harder. Then there's fewer customers. More people are turning to online pharmacies and delivery services, meaning fewer visits to physical stores. When foot traffic drops, so do sales. Now, Rite Aid is closing stores, cutting jobs, and trying to restructure to stay afloat. But many believe this is only delaying the inevitable. If you still have a Rite Aid nearby, don't be surprised if it shuts down soon. And next, a once popular restaurant chain that's struggling to keep its doors open. 10 Big Lots has been a budget shopper's paradise for years. With discounted furniture, home goods, and groceries, it's been a go-to spot for families looking to save money. But now, Big Lots is in big trouble. In 2024, the company announced massive store closures due to financial struggles. Over the past year, they've lost hundreds of millions of dollars, and some locations are already shutting down. If things don't turn around fast, more stores could disappear soon. So, what's the problem? Competition is fierce. Walmart, Dollar General, and online retailers like Amazon offer cheaper prices and more convenience. Customers are skipping Big Lots and heading to stores with better deals and larger selections. Fewer people are buying big-ticket items. Big Lots sells a lot of furniture, mattresses, and home goods, things people buy less often. With inflation making everything more expensive, shoppers are cutting back on non-essentials, and Big Lots is feeling the impact. To stay afloat, Big Lots is slashing prices, offering more discounts, and closing underperforming stores. But will that be enough? Many experts believe the company is running out of time. So if you're a Big Lots fan, shop while you still can, because your local store might not be around much longer. And next, a family favorite restaurant chain that's shutting down locations left and right. 7-Eleven is one of the most recognizable convenience store chains in America. Whether you're grabbing a quick coffee, a snack, or their famous Slurpee, it's been a go-to stop for decades. But now, many 7-Eleven locations are disappearing. In 2024, 7-Eleven started closing underperforming stores across the country. While the brand isn't going away completely, hundreds of locations could be shut down in the coming months. First, crime and safety concerns. Many 7-Eleven locations, especially in big cities, have been hit hard by shoplifting, loitering, and even violent crime. Some franchise owners are choosing to shut down rather than deal with ongoing security issues. Second, rising costs. The price of rent, labor, and supplies has gone way up, making it harder for smaller locations to stay profitable. Many franchise owners are struggling, and some are closing their stores to cut losses. Another big issue? Competition. Gas stations, dollar stores, and even grocery stores now offer similar grab-and-go items, often cheaper. More people are also using delivery apps instead of making late-night convenience store runs. 7-Eleven is trying to focus on bigger, high-traffic locations, but smaller stores in less profitable areas are at risk. If you have a 7-Eleven in your neighborhood, don't be surprised if one day it's boarded up and gone. And coming up next, a once popular casual dining chain that's struggling to keep its doors open, 12 American Freight has been a go-to spot for discounted furniture, mattresses, and appliances. If you needed a cheap couch or a budget-friendly fridge, this store was an easy choice. But now it's struggling to survive. Recently, American Freight has been closing stores across the U.S., and experts warn that more shutdowns are on the way. So, what's happening? First, fewer people are buying furniture and appliances. With inflation making essentials more expensive, many shoppers are holding off on big purchases like new sofas, refrigerators, and washing machines. That's bad news for a store that relies on selling large ticket items. Second, tough competition. American Freight faces stiff competition from bigger, more trusted brands like Home Depot, Lowe's, Ashley Furniture, and even Walmart. These stores offer better financing options, warranties, and a bigger selection, making it harder for American Freight to stand out. Another problem? Customer complaints. Many shoppers have reported poor customer service, delivery issues, and low-quality products. In today's world, bad online reviews can kill a business fast. Now, American Freight is closing underperforming locations and trying to cut costs, but will it be enough? Many experts think this is just the beginning of a bigger collapse. So if you have an American Freight store nearby, don't be surprised if one day it's empty with a for lease sign on the door. And next, a legendary restaurant chain that's quickly fading from America's dining scene, 13 Party City, has been the go-to store for balloons, costumes, and party supplies for decades. Whether it's a birthday, Halloween, or graduation, this was the place to get everything in one stop. But now, Party City is running out of time. In early 2023, Party City filed for bankruptcy and announced the closure of dozens of stores across the U.S. And the bad news keeps coming. Even more locations are expected to shut down in the months ahead. First, people just aren't throwing big parties like they used to. With inflation squeezing wallets, families are cutting back on expensive celebrations. Instead of buying pricey decorations, many are DIYing party supplies or skipping the extras altogether. Then, there's the balloon problem. Believe it or not, Party City relies heavily on helium balloon sales, but a global helium shortage has made it harder to keep up. No helium means fewer balloon sales, and that's a big hit to their business. Another major issue? Online competition. Amazon, Walmart, and dollar stores now sell cheaper party supplies, making it easier for customers to shop elsewhere. Why drive to Party City when you can get the same decorations delivered to your door for less? To stay afloat, Party City is closing struggling stores and trying to revamp its business model, but many experts believe it's only a matter of time before more locations disappear. So, if you still have a Party City nearby, stock up while you can, because it may not be there much longer. And next, a once famous fast food chain that's struggling to stay in business. 14 Joann Fabrics has been a crafting and sewing paradise for decades. Whether you needed fabric for a quilt, supplies for a DIY project, or holiday decorations, Joann was the place to go. But now, the beloved craft store is unraveling fast. In 2023, Joann announced major store closures as it struggled with declining sales and rising costs. By early 2024, rumors of bankruptcy started circulating, and experts warned that more locations could shut down soon. First, fewer people are crafting. While hobbies like sewing, quilting, and scrapbooking were once hugely popular, today's younger generations aren't as interested. With less demand, Joann is selling fewer products and losing money fast. Then there's fierce competition. Big box stores like Walmart, Target, and even Amazon now sell craft supplies for cheaper prices. Why make a special trip to Joann when you can get what you need delivered to your doorstep for less? Another issue, high prices and outdated stores. Many customers complain that Joann's prices are too expensive, even with coupons. Plus, many stores feel old and uninviting, making shopping there less appealing. To survive, Joann is closing underperforming stores, offering bigger discounts, and trying to attract new customers. But is it too late? Many retail experts believe Joann Fabrics is running out of time. So if you're a fan of Joann, you might want to stock up on supplies now, before your local store disappears. And next, a once massive retail chain that's barely hanging on. 15 Red Lobster was once America's go-to seafood restaurant, whether it was for their famous endless shrimp, buttery Cheddar Bay biscuits, or a special night out. Millions of people dined there. But now, Red Lobster is sinking fast. In 2024, reports surfaced that the company is closing multiple locations due to massive financial losses. Many experts believe the Red Lobster is on the verge of collapse, and if things don't turn around soon, even more restaurants could disappear. So, what went wrong? First, rising seafood costs. The price of lobster, shrimp, and other seafood has skyrocketed, but Red Lobster can't raise prices too much without scaring off customers. That means thin profit margins, or worse, losing money on meals. Second, bad business decisions. The chain's endless shrimp deal may have been great for customers, but it turned into a financial disaster for the company. Too many people took advantage of the unlimited shrimp promo, and Red Lobster lost millions because of it. Another issue? Fewer diners. With inflation tightening budgets, many people aren't eating out as often, especially at sit-down restaurants. Fast food chains like McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, and Chipotle offer cheaper, faster options, making Red Lobster less appealing. To stay afloat, Red Lobster has been closing underperforming locations and trying to adjust its menu, but will it be enough? Many experts believe the iconic seafood chain is running out of time. So, if you're a fan of Red Lobster, you might want to enjoy those Cheddar Bay biscuits while you still can, because they may not be around much longer. And that wraps up our list of 15 major chains that could disappear soon. But before you go, let's talk about what this means for shoppers like you. As we've seen, no brand is too big to fail. From fast food giants to beloved retail stores, even the most well-known chains are struggling to survive in today's economy. Rising costs, changing shopping habits, and fierce competition are forcing many businesses to shut down locations or disappear completely. So, what does this mean for you? If any of these chains are your favorites, now might be the time to visit them while you still can. Whether it's grabbing a meal at Red Lobster, stocking up at Joann Fabrics, or catching a deal at Macy's, you never know when your local store might close its doors for good. But now, we want to hear from you. Which of these closures surprised you the most? Have you noticed stores disappearing in your area? Drop a comment below and let us know. And if you found this video interesting, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps support the channel. And, of course, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest updates on the biggest changes happening in the retail and restaurant world. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next